Hey everybody, today we're going to just do a little walkthrough of the Savio Livingponds filters. They're going to come as either the waterfall style or the versatile style. We're going to start with the waterfall, show you the basics. The versatile is very similar to that. So we're going to open up our box. You will see that this is a fairly good size filter. It's a very tall filter. One good thing about this, of course, is you can partially bury it if that's going to make it easier in your application. And once we have the filter out of its box, there's a few things that we'll look at. This is the lid. This is a very strong, heavy-duty lid. It can take a little bit of foot traffic, help the filter hold its shape a little bit. When we get on the inside, we're going to start pulling out the guts of the filter here. This is what's called the polishing mat. So this is going to stay here at the top. Show you a little bit about that in just a moment. This is going to be the waterfall weir. This is the spring flow bio ribbon. That's going to do most of the biological filtration in this. Have our fittings bag. The bottom grate. This is going to hold that spring flow up off the bottom. And then our feet. So the first thing that we'll do when we're assembling this is we'll actually just attach our feet. These are just going to slip on the bottom. Like so. Well, let's look in here once we get to the filter. This is a little divider between where the water drops in and the filtration chamber here. So when the water does drop in, and I'll show you how to attach that plumbing here in just a moment, it's going to fall. So that vertical falling of the water does generate more aeration as the water enters the filter. So that's going to improve the overall biological process. Once it enters the bottom here, you can see that this is going to enter at an angle, causing a little bit of a swirl. You have a settling area here at the bottom for debris before the water will rise up through the filter media. We're going to put that grate. Again, that's going to keep the filter material off the bottom. Then we're going to take our spring flow media. And then we'll uncoil this to fill the whole chamber. Once the spring flows in, the top finishing mat is going to go in place. Set in like so. Okay, so we need to look into our bag of fittings. We're going to find what they call the media stays. There's going to be 4 of these. Basically, these are just going to go into the lid. But now we need to look at actually plumbing up this filter. So we're going to start with the waterfall attachment here. So what we're going to do, we'll have our pond liner coming up all the way up here. Then going to take this gasket. Gasket's going to go into this little groove. We'll push the waterfall lip down into place. Again, our liner is going to be sandwiched right in here. Press that down. We then have some included screws in our fittings bag. And these are going to attach on the inside to just hold this lip in place. You're going to have 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. With our waterfall attached, we're going to look at the other plumbing. Right here, this is going to be the inlet. So again, this is where the water is going to come from the pressure of the pump into the filter and drop down. So we'll install this bulkhead fitting. Start by just unthreading the nut from it. And what you're going to want the flat portion as well as the rubber gasket on the inside of the filter, like so. And then we'll tighten that back up into place. This is going to ensure a nice watertight seal as our water's entering the filter. Threaded outlet or threaded inlet is going to go right on that fitting, pointed downward. We'll have an 1.5 inch male adapter threading into the bulkhead fitting here. Again, this will be the inlet. At the bottom, we have an optional bottom drain. So if you're able to make use of this, great, but if you've buried this filter, it may not be a position where you're able to utilize that. So we will have installed this. I have to pull the media out to do that, so you'll get the idea here. Install the bulkhead there, and if we are going to use the drain, we're going to use another male adapter. Now this one's not included. That's going to thread in there. You can run a section of PVC pipe off of here to a knife valve, gate valve that you can open and close as needed to be able to flush the filter out. If you're not going to be using the drain, it does come with a plug. Just thread that in. Make sure to use some Teflon tape. You don't want any leakage going on here. Just thread that in and that will close off the drain hole. So once everything is fully installed here, put that lid back on in place with the media stays, and this is ready to run. Now the versatile filter is very, very similar. The difference with this one is you have a pipe discharge instead of the waterfall discharge. So this is going to allow you to just have this drop directly into the pond. It could flow to another filter. You could put these in series, but this would have to be elevated and using a very short section of pipe, and it will be a lower flow rate that it could handle at that point. Too high of a flow, if you're running much on the discharge, would cause this to back up and overflow. But basically, at this point, we'd simply thread in a male adapter into our discharge fitting, install whatever piping. In this case, I'm using just a 2-inch ABS pipe. You can use a flexible PVC, a rigid PVC. We do want to make sure, again, this is a good size. Stick with the 2-inch or larger to avoid that filter backing up. Otherwise, the installation of the versatile filter is identical to the waterfall filter. That's the F100 Savio Livingponds filter and the F200 Savio Versatile Livingponds filter. Thanks for watching. Please reach out if you ever need anything.